on the 6th of Tevet, Vav Tevet, marks the Hilula of a great Tunisian rabbi. His name was Rabbi Avraham Allouche Z'tl. Now he came from the great Alouche family in of itself. His father's name was Rabbi Pinchas Allouche, and I believe he was born around the year 1833 in Gabs, in Tunis, respectively. Remember, Tunisia at that point in time, especially during the 1800s and early 1900s, had a really great, strong Jewish and Torah community in of itself. Now, it's actually interesting. He would actually learn under auspices of many of the great rabbis in Gabs while in his younger years in of itself, and much can be related within regards to the great rabbi over there. Remember, at that point in time, we mentioned on this series already about 25 rabbis from this specific vicinities, and he rose so great in Torah stature that he will become the Abbetin, the head of the Jewish court of this grandiose city in of itself. He would be the head. He'd take on a head position inside the yeshiva over there, inside this specific vicinity in of itself, and will give various different drashot, will really do a little cure of outreach work in of itself, and really inspire the throngs inside this area. There was many great Talmid Chachamim he taught in his time, and basically all throughout Tunisia and Libya, many of the great people would know about him, and he became famous in of itself, which we can say over. He would serve also in the rabbinate in Tunisia and Libya. He passed away on the 5th of Tevet, and I believe this was in the English year 1903, so I believe approximately he was 70 years of age at the time of passing. Many great Torah works of his teachings, was actually printed at a later stage, especially I believe in the year 1913. This would have been about 10 years after he passed away. There was a book called the Brit V'Torah, which I think was a great book in itself, and together with a book of Divrei Moshe of his student Chacham Moshe Maimon would actually be, I believe, produced. Now, Rabbi Moshe Maimon was another great rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions, I believe, before. He himself passed away in the year 2012. He was about nearly 90 years of age and was one of the great rabbis of Tunisia, which we will hopefully mention about. His Hilula actually is on Yud Bet Iyar, on the 12th of Iyar, respectively. So that great book in of itself was, and there were. Then, also interesting enough, I believe there was another great Torah colossal work that came out of both. There's two books, which was called the Brit V'Torah. It was various different drashot. Some of it was, I believe, in manuscript form, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, through his student, and it was gathered through his students, Rabbi Moshe Maimon and Rabbi Yitzchak Chai Bukopza. Interesting enough, they were really great rabbis in of itself. Now remember, I believe Rabbi Yitzchak Chai Bukopza at one stage in time was the chief rabbi of Libya, and there was a very interesting story I stated with him. I would recommend everyone to watch that video I did on Rabbi Bukopza, the former chief rabbi of Libya in of itself. So many of his sermons were handwritten by his students, Rabbi Moshe Maimon, Rabbi Yitzchak Chai Bukopza, and Rabbi Chaim Huri. And they would actually copy his writings. Rabbi Chaim Huri was one of the great rabbis also of Tunisia, who we mentioned about also a video about in of itself. And I believe, come what the year 1932, there was another great book, very much connected to Miluim Moshe. Once again, Rabbi Moshe Maimon. And this was, I believe, in of itself, it encompassed, this book did, a sermon on I think the 11th anniversary after he had passed away, when it was reported over that there was a famous story that a young man, actually an anti-Semitic potential story actually occurred over here. There's Shimon Maimon, Rav Shimon Maimon, when he was coming out of his house, I think an Arab actually came out and chased him and was ready to hunt him, to attack him. And he mentioned Rabbi Avraham Allouche inside a tefillah, begging in the sort of, he prayed, Rabbi Avraham, our Rabbi, stand up for us. And then a miracle happened, and out of nowhere, an old man appeared and chased away those terrible attackers in of itself. Now, there was various different memorials that was placed in his memory, which we should point out. Also, I believe there's in the Naharia neighborhood in of itself, there's a machon which was established called the Divrei Brit. This was in memory of Rabbi Avraham Allouche and Rabbi Moshe Maimon, these two great rabbis of Tunisia of yesteryear. So I recommend everyone to learn much more about these great rabbis. The great Chacham, also Rabbi Maimon. Hopefully we will speak about Kamot, the month of Iyar. But Rabbi Avraham Allouche was very much one of the great rabbis of his time. And we've already mentioned about in this series, possibly about maybe 50 or maybe even 60 great Tunisian rabbis of yesteryear, which is interesting. We've encompassed, we're trying to, let's just say, reach out to all different Sephardic countries in this series in of itself. We've covered already about a staggering maybe 600 rabbanim of yesteryear, which is absolutely phenomenal. And we are a community here. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the videos, share the videos, and if you happen to be related, let's just say, to any of these great rabbanim, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. Wishing you all well and blessings from Israel, and take care.